English shorthand 120 words per minute. A passage. Ready. Start. I do not propose to follow the honorable members on the subject to which he devoted most of his time, namely compensation. This is not because I have nothing to criticize in what he said, nor because I think that the subject is not important, but I have taken the view both upstairs and down here that on the whole rather too big a proportion of our time has been spent on questions of compensation. I do not say that too much time has been spent on this subject, but rather that too little time has been spent on other parts of the problem. After all, what really matters to the country is whether or not, from the point of view of the user of transport, a more efficient transport system is provided by this bill. Para. I venture to say that no bill has ever been submitted to this House which has at once required so much full parliamentary examination and revision as this bill, and in relation to its need has received so little. There is an astonishing contrast in the attitude of the government towards influences, pressures, and suggestions on their different measures. For many years, it has been the tradition of our Constitution that there are certain questions on which a government ought, after full consideration, to make their mind, and having made it up, to stand by their decision without yielding to either friend, foe. We are going to discuss such a question tomorrow. It has been a tradition of this constitution that on other subjects where, for example, there is a complex measures affecting the interest of the country, the parliamentary system of examination in detail in committee should be used in such a way as to utilize the full experience and wisdom of honorable members on all sides, and other their functions as representing outsides interest. That methods in fact has not been used at all advocaately. In this case, it seems to me that the minister misunderstood the character of the criticism that we are making against him on this subject. We do not criticize him for having proposed a great number of amendments after consultation with the outside bodies. I do not object to that. I welcome it. Para. But that I do not say is that the amendments which has been accepted as the result of the effective participation of honorable members of this House in the standing committee have been of very little importance. There has been one great change, and in my view one very great important in this bill. Since we discussed it on second reading, it is of course the change in policy regarding license. That change was made to the ministry, but it was not made by the committee. The change in policy was announced to us before we reached that part of the proceedings. Stop.